This song's been stuck in my head ever since I saw that goddamn movie. The only way to get it out is to rank these motherfuckers, so let's do it! It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Child's Play Franchise Ranking. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and the time has come to go ahead and rank the Child's Play franchise, because everybody else is doing it, so why wouldn't I go ahead and do it? And I didn't even bother to write this shit down, because I got it up here. I've had this a steel trap, everybody, a steel trap. And there's supposedly 8 movies, so I'm going to keep my hands down here, and I'm going to hold them, and I'm going to count them down till there's only one left. Anyway, so starting off with the bottom of the barrel, just like everybody else, number 8 is Seed of Chucky. And you wonder why. It's because it's just not a good movie. Now, looking back, it's not as bad as I remember it being. There are a couple comedic elements that made me giggle, and there are some pretty cool gore effects, especially the death involving, what's his name? He did Cecil B. Demented and Hairspray. John Waters. When John Waters gets the acid dropped on his head, that's a magic moment. But other than that, the movie's filled with a bunch of shit that just makes you wonder, like, what the fuck were you people thinking? Like, just the design of Glenn. Everything about Glenn ruined this movie. I think if maybe there was a better design for the doll, but I already touched on that in my review for this fucking waste of fucking time. I mean, really, that's what it is. It's a waste of time. I mean, you could watch it to be ironic, other than that, or if you're, trying to have a marathon of all these movies. Anyway, let's move on to number 7 is The Curse of Chucky. This movie was a step up in the right direction from Seed, but unfortunately it just felt like it was too long, it was too slow, and it just didn't feel like a Child's Play movie, other than the fact that it was a Child's Play movie and Chucky was in it. But other than that, it did not have the same feel to it. It felt like a haunted house movie. I don't know. Just something about it bothers me. So that's why it's number 7. So we're just gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go ahead and move on to number 6. And number 6 would be Cult of Chucky. I like this one just a little bit more than Curse. There was some humor in there that kind of made the 14-year-old inside of me giggle. And I liked some of the kills. And there were some very artistic shots. Somebody said that the directing in this movie's lazy. I don't necessarily see that. Now, the story and a lot of the dialogue and a lot of other stuff, just it bothers me. So that's keeping me from putting this higher on the list. So what was that, number 7? Well, god damn it, everybody. I lost count. And then the secretary called just to ruin my video, because I texted her and I said, hey, I'm about to do my ranking video, so leave me the fuck alone for a little bit, will ya? And she didn't listen. But anyway, no, we're on number 5, and number 5 might surprise some people. But it's just because a certain movie in this franchise didn't age exactly the way I wanted it to. So number 5 is Bride of Chucky. Now, this came out in a time when, me and my friends were old enough to, get somebody else to buy us tickets to rated R movies. So we all went and saw this several times at the Dollar Theater once it had went through its first run. And, it's a fun movie. It's just, some of it just doesn't age well. And instead of me, being nostalgic about it, some of it makes me roll my eyes. But don't get me wrong, all the movies from 5 to 1 are, movies I love. And, I don't hate 6 and 7. And I don't necessarily hate Seed, so keep that in mind while you're listening to me ramble on about these movies. But yeah, number 5 is Bride. I do like the way Chucky looks. I like Tiffany. I just feel like it's too late 90s, early 2000s, which is not always a bad thing, but it's not always a good thing. And this is kind of a middle of the road. You know, it's got that, you know, charm to it, but it's not as good as the other movies on this list. So, we're going to move it on to number 4, and that is, am I looking at, what side have I been putting these on? I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, number 4 is the Child's Play remake from 2019. I enjoyed the shit out of myself with this movie, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. And the funny thing is, a lot of the things that bothered certain people, I actually really liked. And a lot of things that bothered me don't bother me as much the more I think about it. I can't wait to watch it again, and hopefully on rewatch, I'll like it even more than I did the first time. Because, you know, there's only a handful of people that I've actually watched the review that hated this movie. Everybody else loved it, but they did have some small gripes with it. But, you know, no movie's perfect. But for what they were going for, I think they did a hell of a job. I mean, it's a hell of a horror movie. It might not be a hell of a Child's Play movie, but is my fucking thing out of fucking... Look at that. Look at it. Terrible. Terrible ever. I don't even know why you people watch this shit. Anyway, so number 4 is Child's Play 2019. All right, so we're going to move on to number 3. Here, we're going to put it back over here where it belongs. I feel like that's the side that people put stuff on. I don't fucking know. What are we moving on to? Number 3 is the original Child's Play. Oh my God, people are going to be like, what? Number 3? Yeah, that's right. Number 3. I mean, it's basically an origin story for Chucky, who is Charles Lee Ray. The suspense in this movie, everything about this movie is great. Just like I said, I love all of these movies moving forward. It's just some of them have a certain place in my heart, and this just happens to be the 3rd place in my heart. I love... What can I say about it that I haven't already said in my review? So we're going to move on to number 2, which happens to be Child's Play 2. And this was, you know, like everybody says, Chucky in full form. Like, we already knew what to kind of expect, and this expanded upon it in greater detail about how crazy and whatnot this doll is, and then it adds some cool characters. And I was watching somebody's review, I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about Child's Play 2 and how, maybe it was Sean Chandler, I don't remember, but they were talking about Child's Play 2, The House, and I don't remember if I brought it up. I wanted to show a picture, because yeah, the setting of Child's Play 2 in this foster house is just, there's something about it that's just off-putting. I don't know if it's the color of the paint on the walls, or just, I don't know, it's a creepy place. If I was in a foster family and I went there, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm surprised there's not plastic on the furniture. But anyway, that's all besides the point, because this movie has one of the best 3rd acts, like Cody Leach says, and I'm in total agreement. One of the best 3rd acts in horror movie history. It's just the 3rd act in this other movie, I like just a little bit better. So we're going to move on to number 1. Everybody will be like, what? Number 3 is number 1? That's right, Child's Play 3. And I'm pretty sure I'm just like Cody Leach, where this was one of the very first horror movies that I watched. This is one of the first VHS tapes I had that was mine. I got to do with it what I wanted, and what I did with it is I watched it over and over and over and over again. I fucking loved it. And, you know, I love the military setting. A lot of people complain about it. Like, you could take Chucky out of this movie, and I would still enjoy just the story of Andy going to this place, and, you know, he's the new guy, and he's not fitting in, and you got this dickhead who's being a douchebag to everybody, and then he meets this other guy who becomes a sidekick. It just happens to be Chucky, so that just adds bonus points to it. So I don't know what anybody's problem is. Like, the fucking heart attack kill is probably the best kill in the franchise, because he doesn't even do anything. He just comes to life. The guy has a fucking heart attack, and Chucky says probably the best fucking one-liner, even though everybody says that every once in a while. You know, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And that's what he says, and it's fucking hilarious. And I just... Andy's got a fucking love interest in this movie. Like, what else do you want? This movie's got it all. It's got the horror, the drama, the comedy, action. Every fucking thing you could want in a movie is in Child's Play 3, and the fact that people don't like this movie makes me sick to my fucking stomach and angry, and I just want to come over to your house and just slap the shit out of you. So, anyway, that's my ranking. So, that might be drastically different from y'all's, but guess what? We're all allowed to have our own opinions. Of course, it's 2019. I can't wait to see what 2020 is like. Because apparently, the more and more you have an opinion, the more and more you're wrong, and you need to shut the fuck up. I don't know. That's just how it is these days. But anyway, if you don't like my opinion, let me know down in the comments section below. If you like my opinion, also, let me know that in the comment section down below. Also, I guess I'll start telling people this. I have a patron thing where you can become a patron, and then it'll encourage me to get better at this shit. And then also, I got a t-shirt store with like 2 designs. I'm going to come up with another one, but nobody's bought one that I know of. So, do me a favor, buy a t-shirt, because I got like $3, and then I can take that $3 to the Goodwill, and I can buy some horror movies to review for you fine folks out there in YouTube land. Also, make sure you click the like button, and then there's a subscribe button, and then something about a bell. People keep telling me about this bell. I don't know how none of this works. You might have read that at the beginning of the video. It's true. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.